Hello, hi, and
Hi.
welcome. Hi, welcome to another edition of our digital arts show. I'm Jim Sirianni, your host, and this show is part of the Digital Arts Festival that is produced by Center Stage Theater right here in beautiful downtown Santa Barbara, California. The Digital Arts Festival shows stream every night at 7 p.m. now through April 30th. And you can find out more on the Center Stage website, which is centerstagetheater.org. And just click on the blog in the upper right-hand corner, or if this is your right-hand side, click on the blog in the upper right-hand corner of the Center Stage Theater website, centerstagetheater.org, and click on the blog tab there. And the purpose for the Digital Arts Festival is to create an outlet for all kinds of artists to share their work. And we will have everybody from theater, music, film, visual arts, poetry, storytelling, dance, and much, much more, comedy as well. And I'm very excited to do these shows. I've lost count how many I've done so far, but each one has been unique and wonderful to get to know the artist and what they do and how they are coping with the quarantine and COVID-19 and all that stuff. And it's been a pleasure, and it's been a special treat for me to be able to connect with the community. And I'm happy that you will be able to connect with them as well through these interviews. And again, you can learn more on the Center Stage website, centerstagetheater.org, and just click on the blog tab in the upper right, and it'll take you right to the Digital Arts Festival page, and you can learn all about all the artists and today's artist as well. And speaking of today's artist, our artist today, our guest artist is Ninette, and
That's
I
me.
almost got it.
You got it. You got it.
Ninette is Ninette Paloma. She is from the Santa Barbara Center for Aerial Dance. And
Hi.
hi, Ninette. Welcome to the show.
Thank
I'm so
you.
glad to have you join us. And
Thank you. And Jim, I just have to say, you have been dedicating your time, all that spare free time that you have to doing these wonderful interviews, and the community really appreciates you. You've been amazing. I've been watching the previous ones, and they've been so fun, and it feels like we're connecting even though we're social distancing.
yes, we're alone together, as they say, the
That's
hashtag
right.
alone
That's right.
together. Well, and it's wonderful to meet you. So tell
Thank
us
you.
a little bit about Santa Barbara Center for Aerial Dance. How did that all
Sure.
begin?
I opened my doors in the fall of 2006. It was a just very heartfelt experiment. I was working with the Libero Theater Foundation on a summer program that included aerial dancing, which I had been training with for about 2 decades before I started my studio. And we were looking for something for an after school program, and I recruited 6 students from my summer program, and had a tiny little loft in downtown Santa Barbara, began teaching trapeze and aerial fabrics, and it morphed into what it is today. Almost 14 years later, we have a full conservatory, 8 aerial disciplines, and currently, we've got about 65 students enrolled, and we are currently working out of the Community Arts Workshop in downtown Santa Barbara, which is new for us, and we absolutely love our residency there. It has been a breath of fresh air.
Nice, nice. Oh, that's a wonderful background. Now, what is your creative process? Where do you take your inspiration from?
Well, aerial dance is a very unique genre in that it pulls from very traditional sources, dating back thousands of years, obviously. And it also pulls from a very avant garde contemporary dance style. And so, really meshing those two together is a process in and of itself. How do I express my storytelling equally on the ground, and then creating that new aerial aspect to it? And so most of the work that we do begins grounded on the floor, a real sense of getting to know who we are as artists, what we want to express, and then how that translates into kinetic movement.
Wow, that's amazing. By the way, as you're watching today's interview, if you'd like to know more about Ninette, you can log on to her website, which is sbaerial.com. That's
That's it.
SBAERIAL.com. And you can learn more about their dance. Also on Instagram, they have
Yeah,
SB Aerial Dance on Instagram. That's their handle. You
right.
can look them up there as
Yes.
well. And so, Ninette, let me ask you, is it a
Yeah.
challenge? Well, actually, let me say it is a challenge for many artists to create under these circumstances with COVID-19 and the quarantine. But I imagine for aerial dance, it must be particularly difficult. How are you doing with all that? How is the situation impacting your creative process?
It's absolutely true. Our work is inherently both very intimate and also just very touchy-feely. We, in order to establish trust and be able to feel confident in the air with one another, we have to be able to hold each other. We're continuously in close quarters. Holding and really expressing our movement through one-on-one work from body to body. So obviously COVID-19 has really kind of put a wedge in that. And just before the government order for all non-essential businesses to shut down, Santa Barbara County had made that announcement that our schools were going to close. And so there was this 1 week gap between the government order and when the schools closed, where we suddenly found the majority of our students not going to school, not having a regular schedule. And they were freaking out right away. We could tell right away on that first day back that they were just kind of bouncing around without any real sense of groundedness. So I quickly switched gears, and what we ended up doing is, in lieu of having regular classes, I began something I call the Body Antibody Project, where every single student had the opportunity to sign up for an individual 30-minute session where they came into the studio and we sat down with a notebook and we wrote down 3 things. We wrote down how we were feeling, what our current state of mind was given everything that was happening. We wrote down an element that connected with that feeling, so earth, air, fire, water. And then we used 3 trigger words that really spoke to our emotions. So anything from anxiety or fear or uneasiness. And we used all 3 of those elements to create an intimate choreographic piece that they created on their own. They titled, they chose their music for, and we recorded it. And we ended up just posting a series of all of those intimate sessions online and on Instagram. And it ended up being amazing. On the very last day that we did our session, we wrapped everything up, closed the doors down, and literally my phone dinged, and it was the government order to shut down. So it was incredible. It was serendipitous, and I'm so grateful now that I have these 15 amazing videos from our students that really tell a story of what we were feeling as soon as this broke.
Wow. So just as as everything was shutting down, you were able to finish this was the Body Antibody project.
The Body Antibody Project, exactly.
Wow. Now,
Yes.
where did the title come from? How did you come up with that?
Well, obviously, our body, which is our aerial dance vessel, it means everything to us, is also the antidote in times of anxiety and uncertainty. It's our antibody. And so it also kind of played on the fact that our bodies suddenly were feeling weaponized, getting close together to other dancers suddenly felt as though it was risky. and kind of seen as a no-no. So it was really that kind of play on the actual movement itself felt very um, healing and medicinal, but it was also, it almost felt dangerous in terms of suddenly our bodies and being close to other bodies felt as though there was some danger or risk involved.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. But how fortunate you were able to get the project online just as,
Truly,
I mean,
truly.
right at the last second almost, it sounds like.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
Right. Now, just to remind everybody, if you'd like to learn more about Ninette and her dance, you can go to her website, sbaerial.com. That's sbaerial.com. And you can check out the Body Antibody project there. And also on
Yes.
Instagram, you can go to SB Aerial Dance on Instagram. Of course, that's all one word, SB Aerial Dance on Instagram, and check out their work on Instagram as well. Ninette, let me ask you then, in this time of quarantine and having to shelter in place, as we talked about earlier, trying to do dance and especially aerial dance, it's very venue specific. You know,
It
you have to
is.
be in a very specific type of venue. So what are you doing to be creative at home? Are you trying to do something creative from home, or how's that working out?
You know, it's interesting. Every time our dancers take a break, either for summer or a holiday, there's always a real sense of, oh my gosh, our work is so muscle memory oriented, and it's so it's such repetitive movement, and it's also so hard to get to a certain point. If I take a week off or if I take a month off, how is that going to affect the work that I do? And I always tell my students, whenever you're taking a break from the physical aspects of aerial dance, take that as an opportunity to really start searching inward for your creative outlet, and really think of observing the world around you for inspiration. Aerial dance has to be very observant oriented. You can't just simply get up on an apparatus and do your thing. You have an apparatus to contend with, and it's not always going to do what you want it to do. If you've got other dancers in the fray, they may not always move at the moment that you need them to move. And so you're consistently observing and then reacting, just really observing and reacting. And so when we're not on the equipment, it really allows us to reinforce that part of our work. We can walk around our personal spaces and do our thing, and really watch the world unravel around us, and use that when we get back into the studio. And
Right.
I should say also, push-ups and sit-ups and handstands in your bedroom work really well too.
Yeah, so just you have to keep physically fit and just kind of
Oh,
do all the basics.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I can't tell you how often I sprint up and down my driveway as a form of keeping in shape while I
right.
wait to return to the studio. Yeah.
Now, during this time of quarantine, has this experience um, inspired anything for you that you might want to do with dance once the quarantine ends and once we're back to normal? Is there anything about this experience that may inspire you to create a piece based on it, or in
Absolutely.
general?
Yes, both of those things. In general, I was already starting to move towards more intimate work with my students. There was a time in the Santa Barbara Center for Aerial Dance's life where we literally had 150 students enrolled in one session. We had people traveling internationally to come be with us. We had a lot of resident artists come with us. And although that time in our conservatory was memorable and amazing, it was also it felt very disconnected to a lot of the work that really fulfills me, the creative outlet that I need to really flourish as an artist involves a lot of intimate conversations with my dancers. And so when we took on this new residency with a community arts workshop in downtown Santa Barbara, I took that as an opportunity to really just streamline my program and just do 3 12-member sessions per week, about 8 hours a day total, to just really work one-on-one with these artists. And now that we really have to be aware of who we're around and how we connect and how we interact with one another, I want even more intimate sessions. I'm looking forward to reducing our class sizes even more, in terms of working maybe with 4 dancers at a time as opposed to 12 dancers at a time. So I can already feel that shifting in how I'm going to be working once the government order is lifted. And then, as far as being inspired and creating a piece that really reflects where we are, a new world order, absolutely. I mean, that's what we do as artists, right? We
Right.
reflect and we observe, and then we react to the world around us. And there is so much inspiration that can come from what we're doing. I'm already thinking of a piece in August that we could really do. Is just kind of a, hey, we're back, and we want to bring our community together, and some elements that I might bring in to make that happen.
Right. Now, speaking of inspiration, who inspires you? Who in the world of dance are you inspired by, or who you look up to as mentors in your world?
Well, in the early part of my career, it was my original trainer. She was actually a certified circus performer. She was brought up on a circus train. She traveled all over the world. She was in a family teeterboard act, and she and her brothers and sisters and mom and aunts and grandfather all traveled together and worked together in the circus. And so she was a real straight shooter. She pulled no punches, and she was very direct in how she explained this genre. She also really made it a point to connect the history with the technique. So I wasn't just learning how to work on a trapeze, but I understood the history and the significance of the people that were on this trapeze before me, the people who I was literally standing on the shoulders of. It's called a two high when you do that.
Right. Oh, yeah.
and and it really gave me a sense of groundedness and connectedness to this movement. I am forever grateful for that experience. We really don't work in the realm of circus or contemporary circus these days. It's a little more avant-garde. It's a little more contemporary based and performance art based. However, if I didn't have that initial platform, I don't think that I would have really appreciated the genre. I mean, this is my 27th year of working in this genre. So it's been a while, and I know that I wouldn't be able to do that, or would not have been able to do that without that solid foundation.
Great, great. Well, Ninette, it's been wonderful chatting with you
Thank
today,
you.
and I wish you great success in your career and continuing
Thank you,
dance. And
Jim.
fingers crossed and prayers answered that we get through the quarantine and you will be up
Yes.
flying away any day now.
Absolutely, Jim. Please do look for our work around town. We're very community oriented, and it's been such a pleasure connecting with you. And then also, I do want to thank Center Stage Theater and Terry and the whole crew for putting this together. What an incredible way to keep all of our fibers connected. It's wonderful.
Exactly. I like how you put that. Yeah, all of our fibers connected. That's a great way to put that.
Yes.
And yeah, just to echo what you said. Yes, very thankful to Center Stage and Terry Ball for putting this together and keeping us all connected. Alone, what is it? Hashtag alone together.
Yes.
And
Yes.
hopefully we'll all be together in person and we'll get to see your work
Thank
one of these
you.
days soon. And
Absolutely. I have no doubt.
yes, same here, same here. And again, to learn more about Ninette, you can go to her website, sbaerial.com. That's sbaerial.com. Also, you can find her on Instagram. Follow her there at sbaerialdance, all one word, sbaerialdance. and to learn more about Center Stage. And if you're so inclined, if you have a couple extra dollars, if you'd like to donate to Center Stage, you can certainly do that at centerstagetheater.org. That's centerstagetheater.org. And for my stuff, you can find me at Jim on the Air on both Facebook and Instagram. You can find me at Jim on the Air as well. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you,
And
Jim.
thank you, Ninette. It was wonderful meeting you. And
You
we'll
as
catch
well.
you all. We'll catch you all next time. Bye for
Sounds
now.
great. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.